Hi friends, this is Kapun Piso, pointing out something that nobody seems to see. Religious beliefs are a schizophrenia type disorder, mental illness. Nobody seems to see it. There was a shooting at Fort Hood. There's been many before. A man, a soldier, that had no problems before, and all of a sudden kill 3 people, wounded like about 16 others. And all these psychiatrists are baffled. See, the problem is they don't go to the root of the problem. Everybody is born lacking belief, with a black brain. And the brain is conditioned and brainwashed by parents with the psychosis of God belief. In other words, apophypia, by generally friends who follow irrational beliefs. And the United States is a ChristPsychosis infected nation. Nobody seems to see it, and expressed in churches. And all these psychiatrists are usually ChristPsychotic infected, and nobody questions the upbringing of these people, the brainwashing of these guys. Everybody's brainwashing this Christian crap. And the brainwashing keep going in churches. And that is the problem. And nobody seems to see it. Nobody questions nobody goes to the root of the problem, which is the upbringing of all these killers. The people that shoot people go and inquire about the brain of these people. That's what happens. The brain is the one that creates these problems. A sick brain creates sick thinking. And this is what happens. All the depression, all that stuff, it happens. And it gets fueled and fueled. The psychosis gets fueled in churches, where ChristPsychosis, the Bible, and all that crap is kept feeding this brain, the weak brains. Because some people can fend off the delusions that are brought up in a Christianity affected home, and then they reject all the fairy tales and become healthy. In other words, atheists much later. But see, this is the root. The root of the problem is religion, religious psychosis, and even mentally healthy atheists, scientists do not see. And it's the elephant in the room. Nobody sees it. Sick brains create sick thinking. That's exactly what happened in Fort Hood. And I have some clips in here of what happened.
For unstable psychiatric conditions, you should realize that threat assessments or psychiatric assessments have to be done almost on a daily basis.
And for the ChristPsychosis infected imbeciles, so-called psychiatrists, this psychiatry has to be addressed. These people are perfectly normal, right? Believing in resurrecting something that's saved with blood, acting like people in the 12th century, reading only one book. There are many Bibles, many Qurans, and these people are psychotic. And this is the problem. And the so-called neurologists, there are no doubt ChristPsychosis infected people in Christian homes. Since with a little kid, they get brainwashed and don't understand. Look at this chaplain. This is the ChristPsychotic chaplain. Look at this filtarded idiots, crazy people. Without, like reading a book that is full of garbage and fantasies as if it were reality. No wonder it's all the killings. Even the Muslims, the Islam psychotics. Look at the Islam psychotics doing this. The Hindu psychotics. Look at this guy, And this is the problem that these people don't understand and don't fail to address. See, in this 21st century, all these crazy ChristPsychotic infected imbeciles, religious psychotics, they only read one book. And there are many Bibles, many Qurans, many Talmuds, many all these bullshit books. And that's what they read, this crap. They keep their brains filtarded. Instead of going to church with the crazy chaplains infected with a psychosis, and these people should be in mental institutions, not in army bases in the United States of America, which is a ChristPsychosis infected country. And they every Sunday or Saturday, the day of service, they ought to learn science. Learn science, learn reality. Not crap like this, that they believe is true. Take Winnie the Pooh book. That's the problem, as you can see here. And all this technology thanks to atheists, to mentally healthy atheist technology, the internet, all thanks to atheists. And if the Christians, love life after this so much, why don't they just kill themselves? And if the body soldiers, the ChristPsychotic soldiers died, rejoice, throw a party. The Christian family should throw a party every time one of those guys die. They're in a better place. They're in heaven. They believe in eternal life, right? One will die and follow them and kill themselves too. They're hypocrites. And this psychosis is very dangerous. It's like a virus of the brain. And that's the reason I fight it. And atheists don't see it. And church spread it. Disgusting. Keeping everybody theotarded in the 12th century. We are in the 21st. That's because of all the problems in the world today. Religious psychosis.
I knew this man was suffering from depression and he was on medication. He bought the gun off base. He lived off post. So he had to drive through security to get
Suffer from depression.
So should he have been flagged?
The guy was a ChristPsychotic.
Special check or something.
ChristPsychotic. The name is Lopez. Grew up in Christianity infected
And then I'm sure there are a number of people here
family.
suffering.
Catholicism, you know, the Universal Church of the Christians.
That's true, and you know, and you're talking about a facility.
And all these psychiatrists are all Christians.
Housing and
They're
deployment.
idiots. They don't know that Christianity is a mental illness.
You know,
These
it's
21st
not,
century
you know, I
people
compare it to
believing
another city that actually
in resurrected zombies with
Here
blood.
you have a place where people are in an environment, you know, designed so that they can be deployed for combat. It doesn't mean they're going to be violent, but
Yeah, people that go to church are sort of violent, right? Like
problems in the
they have the psychosis of God believe inside, the hypophiba, imaginary fanciful, irrational beliefs.
And you're absolutely right about all of that, Tom. It's just so frustrating because
This is the problem.
There's really
For Hood. Nobody seems to understand and realize that the United States of America is a Christianity-infected country. They believe in gods, angels, demons, and all the rest of mythologies of the 12th century. Believing in all that to be reality is a form of mental illness, a form of schizophrenia. You know, any neurology will tell you that. Religious beliefs are a form of schizophrenia. It's a psychosis. And they compose of depression, temporal lobe epilepsy, the rest of these neurological disturbances. And neurology is very complicated. The brain is extremely complicated. And people don't understand. And they in the United States of America, there's millions of churches. And actually all these churches, what they do is that they keep raping the mind of children with this garbage of zombie Jesus. And they cause homophobia, it causes intolerance, it causes racism. They are good for nothing. It's like Center for Cancer. You know, get your cancer in a church. Get your tuberculosis in a church. It's exactly the same. It's a psychosis, a mental disorder. They screwed up the brain of children. And this is what you have. And you have, see, undergoing treatment, condition. And yeah, but who is going to treat these men? Psychiatrists. Where are these psychiatrists? Who are these psychiatrists? These psychiatrists are Christianity-infected imbeciles. They're psychotic people. That they get everything in church. And this is the problem. This is actually the problem in the United States. Nobody seems to see it. They screwed up the brain of people. They keep them theotarded, stuck in the Middle Ages with all this hocus pocus of angels and demons and sin and the rest of and ghosts and the rest of crap. It is absolutely ridiculous. And this is the problem, at the root of all the problems in the United States of America, of the psychosis and all these shootings and all these things, are the churches. Churches. And mentally healthy, sane, in other words, atheists that don't believe in all this hocus pocus crap, they're blind. They don't see that religious beliefs are a form of mental illness. All the religious beliefs, all of them in the whole planet, they are composed of hypophiba, imaginary friends or foes, irrational belief acceptance. And neurological disorders have hypophiba. They also have imaginary friends or foes, irrational beliefs. False beliefs are accepted as reality. And that they are all produced in the brain. When the brain malfunctions, they produce distorted cognitive dissonance and cognition deficit, sensory gating deficit. Everything is perceived incorrectly by the sensors in the human body. The eyes, the nose, the ear, everything is distorted. And this is mental illness. And all religions have them. All religions are composed of imaginary friends of irrational beliefs. All of them. Show me one that is not. And they're all created in the brain. A defective brain creates defective thinking. And this is the problem.
Like anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, it's not associated with increased violence.
This lady was brought up Christian, no doubt.
Symptoms
And she's a psychiatrist, right?
Such as delusions and paranoia, irritability, and anger that are
Delusions.
associated with violence.
Christianity all had delusions.
The thing that the investigators will look at was he's simply
See what I mean?
depressed and anxious, or did
They
he actually
ignore
have delusions
Christianity.
and
They
paranoia?
ignore the religious psychosis taught in churches.
We understand from
The military has all this Bible crap all over the place and service. They brainwash the people
on this whole topic.
with this crap.
I know I read a Daily Beast article of yours,
See?
just to really bring this home and put a face
And
on
she's a
it.
psychiatrist?
You wrote about this.
This is the problem in this country.
You got from this mother who told you about her
Get rid of religion.
18 years of age.
Get rid of religious psychosis.
Walking to school, was allegedly shot by someone on a different base here in Texas, Fort Bliss.
See the problem?
And she has been unsuccessful
In Texas.
to sue the military.
With the governor that prays for rain, that goes to church and say, oh Jesus and oh Jesus and crap like that in this 21st century.
The man was diagnosed with combat stress disorder.
Combat stress, yeah, they're all Christians.
Unfit to stand
They all
trial.
have the Bible
And
crap.
apparently, through a report,
Like the ancient Crusaders, the
following
same
shooting,
shit,
she had been
different
shown
day,
signs of
different
distress
century.
and mental illness.
See?
And she feels
They don't see it.
something
Christianity
was done
is a
to
mental
diagnose
illness.
and
It's a
treat
psychosis like a
earlier,
schizophrenia.
that
And I
her son
said,
would still be alive today.
so many
She
times people are so
was
blind they don't see it.
Frustrated. She tried to sue. Her case had been thrown out at every level up to the Supreme
They're all
Court,
Christians.
And this is
All these families are Christian families. Show me one Muslim or somebody from a different religion.
Well,
Psychosis.
heart goes
None.
out to her.
They're all Christian.
And to
Christian
all the
people.
victims of
Psychotics.
Gun violence. It's such
Where
a
they get the
tragedy.
Christianity
We've
crap
had so
on?
many
In
mass
churches.
shootings
They're
in the
little
last 5
kids.
years.
They're brainwashed
One
constantly.
list you mentioned,
Constantly with the
there
Bible
was also,
crap.
of course,
They believe it's
4 or 5 years
reality.
ago, the Navy Yard.
And this lady should know.
spring,
And
And
she's a psychiatrist?
correction, this last fall, and then one at Camp.
The only good psychiatrist is a mentally healthy psychiatrist.
So,
In other words, an atheist. That's the only good psychiatrist, psychologist, true psychologist, is a mentally healthy, an atheist. They don't believe in all that crap. But these people are brought up in Christianity-infected homes. That's why she was brought up.
Retired and no longer in active duty. We don't talk enough about responsible gun ownership, about trigger locks and gun safes. We have signs on the highways saying, you know, this is the time since the last car crash.
Don't drink and drive, don't do this. No, close all the churches.
I don't think
Declare
people are going to take
link
away guns, especially
believe in God and
states like
Christian
Texas.
crap
But we
to
have to learn how to use
schizophrenia.
them safely.
Link
Protect
both of them. It's a disease. Then
Elspeth Ritchie.
start closing all the churches. Then you'll realize what's the problem. It's the damn religious beliefs.
For joining me today. I'm Carol Costello.
That's the problem.
Led to this.
Any red flags? Yeah, Christianity.
Give me a sense of
Yeah,
the
he's a
timeline
Christian.
here. This was an event that
ChristPsychosis.
was over. It felt like several hours.
He just became full-blown with ChristPsychosis. And he did that. It's like crazy people. These so-called psychologists in this program say they don't understand, they don't take into account the upbringing of kids. They're brought up by Christianity-infected parents in churches. And when the brain malfunctions, it only can create deluded thoughts. Look at this ChristPsychotic infected imbecile. He's rotten because bacteria is eating him around. That's the only true life after death. Like people that go see Noah, they believe these things to be reality, and they are ChristPsychotic infected people. And they are just suffering from an ifo fever, a disorder just like a schizophrenia. And they believe that all this stuff is real. And people that believe in delusions to be reality are schizophrenics. They have a problem with the brain.
We know that 3 people died from this.
How appropriate!
And we know Lopez allegedly took his own life in the shooting.
Temple, Texas,
We are waiting for an update on the
where all these zombies are resurrecting gods and crap like that. That is the problem in this country. ChristPsychosis. Very simple.
CNN military analyst, retired Army General James.
And you know, this ChristPsychosis neurological disorder, it never ends. Expressed in churches, and blind atheist intellectuals and scientists don't see it. spreads in churches. And the samples are all over the place. They concentrate in something famous like the Fort Hood shooting. But oh no. And psychiatrists ignore it is religion. It's the brainwashing of some begot belief with religious psychosis, which is our ifofibs, ifophiba, imaginary friends or foes, irrational belief, acceptance that happens in all religions and all schizophrenia's neurological disorders. Like, look at this. It just never ends. And this is just one example. I mean, there are tons of them. I have a whole library full of them. Look at this. Drowns her kids. I mean, this stuff never ends. Never ends. So people wake up. Atheist intellectual scientists wake up. Believing God is a mental illness and God's are ifophiba, imaginary friends or foes, irrational belief, acceptance. When the brain accepts things that are not real, false beliefs, that's a psychosis. That is a psychosis. So you have to separate them. It's like a person that goes to a movie theater and sees Lord of the Rings and believes everything that happens in Lord of the Rings is real. Well, guess who believes in all that crap? Christians. They go to see Noah and believe that everything in Noah or any biblical movie is true. This is the difference. They see Lord of the Rings and oh no, that's pagan, that's Satan, or other mythologies. But oh no, it's the Bible. Oh, that's real. This is the problem. This is the problem. It's like people believing in ancient aliens, UFO abductions, conspiracy theory. The same thing. It's a psychosis. It's ifophiba, imaginary friends or foes, irrational belief, acceptance. I don't use the word God because it's meaningless. God is a concept, it's meaningless. So use ifophiba. Pray. They don't concentrate in mothers drowning children or Jim Jones or the rest of the ChristPsychotic infected imbecile. The lady that took the van into the ocean and tried to drown her kids. Oh, she's mentally ill. No, she's a Christian.
Yes,
ChristPsychotic.
But
gets all this shit in churches.
After our shooting, everyone, or a lot of facts were saying, well, we need to do this, we need to do that. Well,
yeah, you know what you need to do? You need to close all the churches. Define religious beliefs as a part of schizophrenia. They're the same thing. They're all creating sick brains.
i.e.,
these idiots don't know anything.
Our military, all these military projects.
Zero. That's clueless.
So what we need to do at this point,
clueless.
We need to beef up our military. We need to restructure.
You know what you should do? You should do is get people that are atheists saying to be neurologists and psychologists.
Would be done.
Atheists. They don't believe in all that crap.
Yesterday.
Then you will get somewhere.
One of the things.
And then start ranking all the churches. Put all these people in mental institutions. Close all the churches. These people are psychotic. They rape the mind of children. That's what they do. Churches do. They're always. These people ought to be committed. ChristPsychosis is a very dangerous neurological disorder, like a schizophrenia that nobody seems to see. It spreads in churches and in many schools, thanks to ChristPsychosis infected people. Pachatero. Christians and other people infected with religious psychosis, I am the true Antichrist and your worst nightmare.